on skills powered by Enginuity. Now, we've got a bit of a different setup for you today because we are in the Titanic Room in Harland Wolff in Belfast, and we will explain why in a minute. But with me from the company is Kat Thorne, who's Head of Talent and Culture, and alongside Kat is Brian Welsh, aka Mr. Apprentice. Again, it sounds like one of those titles you get where loads of apprentices had to like walk down a catwalk, and you had to pick which one is Mr. Apprentice UK. It's you, Brian. Before we get into talking about what's been going on here and the big investment and the plans for the future, let's first of all just do the history of this place, Brian, because this is a place where when you land in Belfast, as soon as you drive through the city, you see these incredible yellow cranes with a big H&W on. There's tea towels with them on. There's coasters. We've got the lot in our house. So just tell me about the history of this place. Why is it so iconic?
Okay. Well, Harland Wolff is Belfast. The majority of people living in Belfast or thereabouts, their grandparents or some member of their family has worked here at one stage or the other. During the Second World War, there was corvettes being made every 2 weeks. An actual corvette went into the water. That's how quick they were down here.
Yeah, these ships. Yeah.
For the Royal Navy. My uncle and my father worked in those. That's how I know about it. Also, the Titanic was built here, and it was definitely okay when it left here.
Yeah.
So that's the famous part of it.
Yeah.
But culturally wise, it's a hard thing to explain to you, but when you serve your time in Harland Wolff, and you have to serve your time here, you become a shipyard man or woman for the rest of your life. It doesn't matter where you go in the world. Somebody will recognize you or speak to you at work in the shipyard, or if someone gets into some sort of trouble or whatever and you can help them, you come to their aid. It's a strange thing. It's like a family bond with us all.
So from what Brian's saying, it's a real kind of community when you join this business then?
Yeah, absolutely. I think from the moment you join, everybody is reaching out to find out how they can help you. I'm not in a technical role, I'm on the HR side of things. But again, every department that I've been to is wanting to give you information about how they can help and how we can all go in the same direction, which I think is just such a positive to see, and just, makes you feel so welcome from day one.
So take me back to when you started as an apprentice. What was it, 1980?
1980, September 1980, I started as a steelworking apprentice.
Yeah, how old were you?
16.
Yeah.
Straight out of school. Was trained in the training school for a year. Used to be down in Gate 7. And believe it or not, 3 of my year are now managers in here.
Oh, wow.
So myself and a guy called Derek Robinson is the manager for FSS. And Paul Beattie is the health and safety manager. So 3 of my actual year, my colleagues that I work with and serve my time with are now managers.
So still here all those years
Yeah,
there.
we're still here.
Yeah.
And we were the ones that stayed out of the gate to make sure this place stayed open, and thankfully it did stay open, because our dream was, we knew a long time ago that we needed apprentices to keep the place open. And as I was saying this morning to the guys, it's a very, very important time today. It's important that I'm 61 coming. The majority of us are in our 60s. The knowledge that we've learned throughout the years, it's going to be lost. You can't read that knowledge from a book. And we desperately want young people to pass that knowledge on to for the further their careers. For instance, when I served my time in here, I committed my time 4 years later, and 5 years after that, I was a supervisor in Caterpillar. And then from a supervisor to a project manager, from a project manager to night shift manager with the whole plant, and then factory manager in Larne. So I couldn't have done any of that without what I had learned in here.
Yeah.
That's how important it is.
Yeah. Gives you that really
and
solid
I
foundation.
tell them that you can start at the bottom. I was an apprentice.
Yeah.
I had nothing. And it helped me buy 2 houses. It's helped me put my daughters through university.
Yeah.
This place it's given me a good life.
Yeah. And so, Kat, the plan is now, tell us a bit about what's happened recently. So, because things were looking precarious for the business, weren't they? It was, and when you talk about shipbuilding, it sounds like a really old, and it is in the sense of we have a very strong history in the UK of shipbuilding. But, I come from, the northeast of England, where, again, shipbuilding was a core heart of my uncles worked in the industry, grandparents did, and then it kind of disappeared for us. But here, it's very much about to be revived, and that's what's happening now.
Yeah. So, as you say, it's been a bit precarious over the last, couple of years.
Yeah.
But Navantia came on board, basically bought the company out essentially back in January.
Yeah.
They're a Spanish shipbuilding company. So they've also, I guess, got a strong legacy, like Harland Wolff, but they've been able to, I guess, continue much more so in a continuous way. So they've got the innovation that they've had. And now essentially they're bringing that over here with the FSS contract.
What does that mean, an FFS contract?
Sorry, so Fleet Solid Support. So essentially it was a Navy contract to build 3 vessels, essentially support vessels.
So it's 3
for the Royal
ships?
Navy. 3 vessels, yeah.
So you guys, over the next few years, and this is, am I right in thinking this is one of them? What's this then?
Well, it would be exactly, that's the 3 of them.
Yeah.
That's the ship and the shell, the size, everything basically what these ships are going to look like.
And all of that's going to be, I mean, there'll be bits I'm sure built in other places, but it's
it'll
all going to be
built
put
here.
together here.
Yeah.
And so how long does something like that take?
It depends. You know, a ship, you could talk 1.5 years, 2 years.
Yeah.
You know, it depends on situation, on changes, for instance, the drawings. What happens is, especially the MOD, if you can imagine, it doesn't matter whether it's a plane or a submarine or a ship, technology changes within the length of time.
Yeah,
it's
of course
taken to
it
make
does. Of course
so what
it
happens,
does.
there's adjustments made and things are changed. So that all has to go through a drawing process, and then a testing process, then actually manufacturing process, and all that has to be okayed by the MOD the whole way through. So it's not just a straightforward, that's what we're building, here we go. I mean, I'm sure there'll be changes made to some parts of the design or whatever on these ships compared to the original design. It happens all the time.
Of course it does. That's just like when you're doing a build project at home. Never, always takes a bit
Trying to
longer
get it
than you
better.
think.
Always trying to get it better.
Yeah.
You know?
So what does that mean then in terms of the skills that you need, Kat?
Yeah, so I guess with the investment coming in, there's going to be new equipment as well, new manufacturing processes. So at the moment, I guess most of our apprentices that are coming in and that will come in again this year are around welding, fabrication. In future, potentially we'll be looking to move more towards more on the robotic side of things as well.
Yeah.
So again, I think we're undergoing a piece of work at the moment to see exactly what that's going to mean for us. The new CEO of the UK, has come from Spain, where he was leading their sort of digital factories of the future project. I think they call it Factory sort of 5.0. Looking at digital twins of the actual, I guess in this case, the ship that you're going to build. Having a digital twin of it so you can work on it, again, without actually using and pressing on the steel.
And test it and all
Yeah,
that
exactly.
kind of thing. Stress test it and everything else.
Yeah, so as we start to move, I guess, towards the more Navantia way of doing things and getting some of that investment here, they're looking at, 115 million worth of investment into the UK, most of which will be in Belfast.
Yeah.
Obviously, that's going to change our way of doing things and the sorts of skills that we need.
Yeah, and so tell me a bit more about that on the skills front, because we're, very much about talking about all the different roles out there and how you get into it and that type of thing. There'll be people who'll be listening, watching this, who are thinking, well, how do you know if you've got the type of skills to be a shipbuilder? Like, what type of person are you looking for, Brian?
Well, that depends. There's rules for most people. The best way I can explain to you is the initial start of apprentices. So what happens is, and these people have all gone through it, they're going to do their first year apprentice this year.
Yeah, what people can't see is we've got some apprentices with us who we're going to be talking to in another episode as well. So yeah.
So basically when they come in, they've applied for a welder or say a steelworker's job. But after a relatively small amount of time, maybe 2 months, I can then talk with my supervisor and say, he or she isn't really suited to that, but I think they would be more suited in there. So we'll try them at maybe the welding if they're a steelworker. And we have found that by doing that, they end up finding out themselves, look, I can do this, I like doing this. So it's not just a matter of us going, you're fitting in there, you're fitting in there. I'll give you a find, for instance. 2 years ago, we had 2 guys who started at the welding. The 2 of them were really good lads. We're constantly asking questions, working, learning. I've been speaking to tutors in tech about them. Same thing in tech, doing really, really well. And I thought to myself, you know what? You're better than welding. You're more, and I don't mean that in a derogatory way, but what I mean is you could be more useful to yourselves in the company doing a different job. So I spoke to him and I found out one of them was really, really good at CAD-CAM. So
At what?
CAD-CAM
Oh,
drawings.
CAD-CAM,
Yes.
yeah.
So what I did was I asked the tech to teach him, have a look at the CAD-CAM.
So this is computer-aided
Yes.
design, yeah.
He ended up
manufacture,
winning a
yeah.
competition in Northern Ireland this year
Oh,
for
wow.
the best CAD-CAM young engineer. So
Oh, is that skills, the skills competitions?
Yes.
Yeah, brilliant.
So that was him. So him and the other guy are starting this September in the drawing office. They've now moved away from, and we've changed the tech courses they're on
Yeah.
to get them higher education classes, such as BTECs rather than NVQs.
Yeah.
And they're now moving in the drawing office
Yeah.
because we had noticed something in that.
So that's a really important
brought
point,
in.
that, Kat.
Yeah.
It's that you might come in, you don't need to know what you're going to do as a job when you come in. That's the point.
Yeah.
So but when you're applying for those jobs, what types of things are you looking for in their applications and stuff?
Okay.
Like, is there does it matter what qualifications they have? Is it about attitude? Is it about...
Combination of the two. I
Yeah.
mean, ideally, yes, we're looking for a C in maths and English.
Yeah.
I guess predominantly because if you haven't got those things, you might struggle with the actual work.
Yeah.
That being said, I think we've made
Is that
exceptions.
GCSE?
Yeah, sorry,
Yeah.
GCSE. But that being said, we've made exceptions for people who have got, I guess, the right attitude, are willing to go on and continue studying whilst working as well.
Yeah.
Who we've seen that actually we can bring in.
Yeah.
We've given them extra tutorials and
Exactly.
helped, and they've made it. They have
Yeah.
made it.
Yeah. And when we're talking about, the different motion steel, work welding, whatever, what does that look like day to day? Like, how do you don't just start straight away, do you,
No.
in it? How does
Well,
it work?
here's how it works. So you need to know what the two jobs are first. And the best way to describe it to someone who doesn't know is the steelworker is the person who builds whatever we're making. He builds it. The welder is the person who has the glue and puts
Yeah.
it all together. So, for instance, I wouldn't suit me being a welder. I couldn't sit all day watching a wee light welding. Some people love it. Not for me.
It's like,
Yeah, not for me. I like using my head and doing things,
Yeah.
and constantly on the go. It's just my personality. So when we get them in, we give them basic tests on the welding and on the steelwork. And through those wee small tests that anyone can do, I can then tell you, yeah, you're more suited to welding. Don't know about you, we'll give you a go both.
Yeah.
You will be a steelworker and so. And
Yeah.
what we do is, as the time goes on, we then fit the pieces together. Maybe that person's not that way, then we'll move them across to something else.
And what about, Kat, just from what people can expect from the workplace? Because again, like there's going to be a lot of regeneration going on here, isn't there?
Yeah.
So what will it look and feel like here? Like how would you describe it to people?
I guess it's always going to be a working manufacturing environment.
Yeah.
So, it's big. I think, not sure if you had a tour already, but it's a large site. Obviously, there's some open plan areas, but I think some of the buildings today, it's fair to say,
are really old.
Are really old.
Yeah.
They need some investment. So again, we're going to be looking at the office environments are okay. But going to be looking at, I guess, some of the training facilities that we've got on site.
Yeah.
And again, some of those welfare areas as well. Need some investment because as we're bringing more and more people in, we need to make sure that they're trained to the right level.
So we talked a lot about the kind of technical roles. It's not just technical, is it, though, in terms of like the new people you want to bring in and apprenticeships and stuff?
Yeah, so at the moment we have focused on the technical apprenticeships, but definitely in future as we grow, we're going to be looking to bring on business administration, HR, essentially those kind of more back office or support functions as well. Because as we grow, we're going to need the full spectrum of people, and apprentices make sense for us as a business.
Yeah, so it's kind of growing your own.
Yes, absolutely. That is very much the ethos of how we are going to take Harland Wolff forward.
And in terms of I think there's another important point, Brian, that you'll probably be able to get across better than I can. It's not just, the apprentice or whoever learning from you guys. It's a two-way street, isn't it? You want to learn as well, don't
well,
you?
let's put it this way. So all my life I've worked in engineering. From the very beginning, at the start being a worker, working my way right up the ladder. So I know the costings, I know how to work with people. And the most important thing is the people. That is your biggest asset.
Yeah.
Now, when I was a cat, they used to say PVQC in that order every morning. It was drummed into our heads. People, velocity, quality, and cost. They're your four main things in business. Without good people, it doesn't matter what you do, you ain't getting there. And when I say good people, I'm talking about not just physically being able to do the job, but people who want to improve on the job and make it even better and come up with ideas of, you could do this a different way. So we have put that, Helen and myself have put that in the operation and training school.
Yeah.
The first year took roughly 18 months before one of our welders was ready to go out on the shop floor. We have now got that down to 6 months.
Wow. So in 6 months, you can walk through the door and be good enough to then go and weld on the shop floor?
At 6 months, you can have some codes to go out on that shop floor.
Wow.
And most of them, all their year, they all passed. They could all go out on the shop floor. So what we're trying to do is we're learning by things that we've tried, maybe didn't work as well as we thought, and we're trying new ideas. One of the best things we've done, I believe, is some of the older guys that I knew who worked for me, the best tradesmen at their specific roles, were coming to retire. And what I did was I asked them would they come in 1 or 2 days a week to help the apprentices. So for instance, one comes in 2 days a week, and what he has taught them is, and there's very few people in the shipyard can do this job, he was one of the few who could do it, was actually lay a dock for a ship to come in and bed down on.
Right, so as in this means putting
Blocks.
the blocks out in exactly the right place in order for the ship to park, essentially.
Yeah. And it's really hard to do.
Yeah.
So we did an exercise with them there 3 weeks ago where we actually got blocks and we drew out a dock on the floor and we gave them an actual docking drawing and we said then you're going to have to scale that drawing to the size on the floor, which is really hard to do. I'm not going to tell you anything, and then put the blocks out where they're meant to go, and then I'm going to get quality room with a laser and they're going to check your blocks to see how accurate they are.
Yeah.
And they did it. They were 1 millimeter off on one block.
Wow, only on one block,
I couldn't
and only
have
1
done it.
millimeter.
I honestly couldn't have done it.
Yeah.
So I brought in the FSS operations manager, Derek, who's a good friend of mine, and guy served his time with me. He couldn't believe it. I said, "Derek, look at that there." He says, "Brilliant, first year apprentices." He says, "Man, can't do that."
Yeah.
So that's a thing we learned.
Yeah.
By using the skills now of these guys who are retiring. And what I also do with them is I get them to write out a program with the slides that they're using. So when they retire, I can then do it with someone else. And then when I retire, someone else can do it. So we're building up a library of information.
Yeah. And obviously there's a lot of talk in like the news and stuff at the minute from the government and things about defence spending. So is this the industry to kind of be in at the moment, would you say? It feels like that's where the money's going. While everyone else is getting budget cuts, it's kind of health and defence are the two where lots of money's being funneled.
Yeah, absolutely. And also I think going back to the point Brian made earlier, it's well-paid careers as well. I mean, if you look at the average salary in sort of manufacturing environments in defence, I think the average salary is about 42,000.
Wow.
In other manufacturing industries, it's 31.
Right.
So, as I say, there is more defence spending that's going to be happening. And unfortunately, where we are in the world at the moment, I don't think that's likely to change anytime soon. And I think what we're doing here is an important part of making sure that the Royal Navy are supported to look at our own security.
Yeah, so, which is key, as you say. Definitely.
And there's a pride here.
Yeah, pride,
Well, what happened was, and I would tend to be looking at conservative ways of doing things, me personally. Maggie Thatcher killed British industry. I will be the first to say that. She stopped all the apprenticeships. She pulled out of here. She killed British industry simply because we had enough workers there at the time to do the jobs, but there was no one coming through.
Yeah.
So these guys and the ones just before them, and the mainland as well, these are the future. These are the apprentices. These are the tradesmen and women of the future. And the good thing about it now is things have changed so much. It used to be boys, trades boys, all boys. I have 2 girls here. I have more out there.
Yeah.
And they're just as good as the boys, if not better. So minds have changed. And now we're utilising the full scope of people we have, which is good. It's really good.
Before I wrap up, I just want to know any comedy stories from being an apprentice, because I bet you've seen.
Oh, I couldn't tell you. Let's put it this way. I'll tell you some of the good things about the job I'm doing, okay?
Yeah.
I had cancer in my bowel, right? 3 years into fighting it, so all's going well. I was the operations manager in the shops in here. And as I said to you earlier, a lot of guys when we were at the gate wanted the apprentices. So when I suggested me taking over the apprentices. So one of the things I thought about when everyone agreed to it was, in my apprenticeship, it was very, very tough. The supervisors you never got friendly with. and they were rugged and rough.
Back in your day
Oh,
when
yeah.
you were doing it, yeah.
I mean, you got a slap around the head very quickly if you didn't do what you were
Wow.
told to do.
Right.
Seriously. What I wanted was a completely different thing. What I wanted to do was to make a family atmosphere where
Yeah.
people could come to you and talk to you about anything, even things outside of work. And if you could help them, you make a point of trying to help them. At the same time, there's rules and regulations, and they can't break those rules and regulations. And when you're talking to my apprentices later on when I'm not here, they'll tell you the same thing. The thing I take most joy out of this job, and it's one of the best jobs I've ever had, and believe me, I've had some brilliant jobs in Caterpillar. This eats it, easy. I was at Northern Regional College on Thursday for their presentation of awards for the year for all apprentices throughout Northern Ireland. We sent 4 people, and all 4 got awards.
Wow.
One of the girls actually got Best Apprentice of the Year.
Wow. Amazing.
So, I mean, that, I know it's,
I
their
can see
mums
the
and all was
pride in
there,
your face.
but I went and hugged their mums,
Yeah.
and I felt so great for them, kids as I
Yeah,
call
yeah.
them, because they've proven themselves. That's just the first step on the ladder. They've taken it,
Yeah.
they've grabbed it with both hands, and if I've helped just a little bit, I'll feel good about it.
It's really important, that point you make about the kind of parental role you have as well
Yeah.
in all of this, and it's not like a top-down hierarchy. You'll do what I say. It's like
I've
they
known
actually
before
can come
quite a
to
few
you.
of their mums and dads when their girlfriends have been pregnant.
Yeah.
And they've
You've
come-
known before.
Oh yes, and they come panicking, and I get, can I speak to you for a wee minute, Brian? Certainly. I'm a wee bit of problems at home. What's wrong? My girlfriend's pregnant. Have you told your mum and dad yet? No. Right, sit down there, I talk to you. Because I got my girlfriend pregnant many, many years ago, and I had to go through the same thing.
Yeah.
And I'm still with her. Married 36 years.
Ah,
So there
lovely.
you go.
Yeah.
So I try and Harland's the same. Harland does exactly the same.
Yeah.
It's not just work. If we can help you outside of work, ask us. It's a family.
Yeah, I love that. That's a very good point to end this on. So
Yeah.
thank you so much.
Thank
really
you.
lovely to chat to you both. And as we've mentioned, we've talked loads about the apprentices, and we will be meeting them in the next episode of Steph on Skills powered by Enginuity. Thank you very much. Bye-bye.